All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 28th, 2023 council meeting. Will the municipal clerk please read the statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, adequate notice of this meeting, given the time, date, and information for access, and that this public meeting was advertised in the Record and the Herald newspapers on May 30th, 2023, was posted on the bulletin board located on the first floor of the municipal building, was filed in the office of the municipal clerk, and was posted on the borough's website.
Roll call.
Councilmember Reinitz?
Here.
Councilmember Rottenstreich?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Catrone?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Kraus?
Here.
Mayor Peluso?
Here.
And Mayor also in attendance is Interim Manager Ruin, Borough Attorney Verone, and Municipal Clerk Magarilli.
Everyone please rise reflexively. All right, got a presentation for the Arts Council and all their great work with Sustainable Jersey. So could everyone just join me below?
Smoke kids?
All right. So whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn joined the Sustainable Jersey program after its creation in 2009 to work with other municipalities to achieve a sustainable Jersey, one community at a time. And whereas the Borough of Fair Lawn, represented by the Fair Lawn Arts Council, was the 2023 recipient of Sustainable Jersey's Creativity and Innovation Award, presented at the League of Municipalities Conference. The award recognizes forward-thinking municipalities that support a culture of creativity and innovation. And whereas Fair Lawn, Pagoda, Glenrock, Hackensack, Oakland, Oradell, and Ridgefield Park are actively involved in the Bergen County Sustainability Hub and are members of Creative Bergen, which uses creative placemaking to enhance the quality of life in their own community and across the county. Working together, they host multi-town, multi-day events to celebrate the arts, local artists, and performers. And whereas the Fair Lawn Arts Council, comprised of dedicated volunteers, also helps to promote and organize Arts Amble, a program that creates opportunities for local artists, local businesses, and our communities. Now therefore the Borough Council and I, Kurt Peluso, Mayor of the Borough of Fair Lawn, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby congratulate the members of the Fair Lawn Arts Council and commend for their hard work and efforts to involve the entire community in the creation and appreciation of art. And so could the Arts Council please come up?
No, Eric's gonna hold it. Eric is our Creative Bergen liaison. So thank you very much. Thank you to all of our Arts Council volunteers. These are just some. And thank you, Mayor and Council, for allowing us to do a lot of what we do so that we could get these cool awards. Thank you.
Is it possible that you could kind of squeeze in a little more? Or... Yeah, there you go. Two Liz's. No, you go first, Ryan. Okay. All right. And 1, 2, 3. And one more. Led Zeppelin was at Woodstock. Okay.
I heard that was right.
Yeah. Long story.
Thank you. Yeah, I know where to get another.
At my house? Yeah.
All right, council comments. Good evening, Councilmember Reinitz. I'll do it. Sure. Yeah.
Knock everything over. Thank you, Mayor. First, I just wanted to send my condolences out to the Heineke family. There was a tragic accident earlier this week. on Thanksgiving night. So my condolences to the family and all those affected by the tragedy. I wanted to start off by thanking our borough clerk for running a incredibly smooth election under difficult circumstances with new machines and lots of moving parts. So thank you, Nick, for the integrity of the system and just doing it well. I wanted to congratulate my fellow council members on the dais on their victories, hard-earned, and it's glad to see that Fair Lawn is happy with the work we're doing and that we're going to have an opportunity to continue to do our work. Also, congratulations to the Arts Council, who continues to just improve the quality of life in the borough and find ways to be inclusive and really show the best of Fair Lawn to the outside world. And now you're getting recognition for it. Well deserved. Thank you. I also wanted to thank everyone who's involved in the Dylan Ronaldo fundraiser, especially the Dutch House Tavern and the Jerhuzel family for everything they donated, and also to our DPW workers and everyone who's involved in the setup and the help that we had from all the other towns, from mutual aid. Obviously, it's a difficult situation, but something that I know the family is very much appreciative of, and so I wanted to thank everyone involved in making that happen. And then finally, tonight would have been the last meeting for our borough manager, Jim Van Kroonigen, who's worked for the borough longer than Chris Kraus has been alive. It's close, right? No. It's close. And there's no one here to dispute that. So anyway, I remember when the first time I walked into Jim's office after I was elected, Jim was very helpful and has always been there to answer any questions I have and really provide us with a great history of how the borough's done things, why the borough's done things, and Jim's always open to our suggestions and our ideas on how to improve things. I think the number of events that we do town-wide and how well those town-wide events are run are a real indication of his abilities and how much he really cares for the borough. So Jim, I'm sure you're watching or will be watching, just know that you will be missed. We wish you well in Arizona, and then when you get tired of the heat, come on back. Love to have you back. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Council Member. Good evening, Council Member Ronstrike.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to echo what Josh has said so well, and also thank Nick for what was a completely smooth election. And I want to congratulate you all, Mayor, Deputy Mayors, for the win. Really proud of you and proud of the campaign you ran. And I want to congratulate the Arts Council for the amazing work that you do. And I'm so glad that you got the recognition that you deserve. The work that you've done over the past several years has been truly transformative for Fair Lawn. It truly makes a difference in people's lives. I mean, I know that when I drive around Fair Lawn and I see your work, I just feel better. And sometimes if I'm not feeling good and I drive by the mural at Berdan or, other things, it just makes me feel better about the world. It's really important. The arts are really important, and the way that you're bringing it to Fair Lawn is really important, and I thank you. So I have some written remarks, as I usually do. It's not an exaggeration to say that we live in challenging times, and for Fair Lawn, these times have been more challenging than most. We have so many people in our community who have been and are continuing to be directly impacted by the Israel-Hamas war. And in addition to that, as Josh said, we lost 2 young men whose families have deep ties in the community, Dylan Ronaldo and Billy Henneke. There are no words that can adequately express the sorrow that we feel for them and the sorrow that's being felt by their families, friends, and by Fair Lawn's employees and the volunteer fire department. We're, as Josh said, so grateful to everybody who made the Day for Dylan so meaningful, and especially the Dutch House, DPW, the fire department, and our borough manager. I also want to thank the borough manager and Ashley Luther, our Veterans Affairs Coordinator, for the amazing Veterans Day program we had here. And I want to thank everybody involved, including the people here, in the creation of our Veterans Mural in Memorial Park, which demonstrates both the pride that we as a town take in our veterans and commemorates their service, and is just another example of the important work being done by Liz and the Arts Council to bring beauty and inspiration to Fair Lawn. I'm sorry Jim couldn't be here tonight for this last Borough Council meeting. After so many years of dedication, we all would have liked the opportunity to thank him in person from this dais for all the work he's put in as a police dispatcher, chief of staff, but most importantly as borough manager. And as Josh said, we all wish him well in Arizona. What these difficult times demonstrate to me more than anything is that political leadership matters. At a time when forces of hate are trying to divide us and tear us apart, what leaders say, the messages they send, matter. We all know that incidences of hate crimes, specifically anti-Semitic and anti-Islamic hate crimes, have grown tremendously since October 7th. We need to condemn all crimes of hate, especially the most recent shooting of 3 Palestinian young men in Vermont. And we need to condemn all those who spread messages of hate. Today I heard a professor of criminology speak about the rise in hate crimes, and he said this: I think what people who are in a position of leadership, position of power, position of recognition, the onus is on them to set an example of leading with civility, of leading with humility, and of leading with ethical morality. People look up to them to show a path forward, and they should be preaching positive views, not negative views against anybody. And one of the great things about our country we live in is that we live in a country of diversity. We should be celebrating that diversity and encouraging conversation and encouraging cooperation and working together. And I think this is the message that won this November's election in Fair Lawn. The mayor and the deputy mayors put out a relentless message of positivity. We all understand that not everything in Fair Lawn or in Bergen County or the state is perfect, but you don't solve problems by attacking others. You don't solve problems by creating enemies. You solve problems by creating allies. Finally, and on that note, I want to give a shout out to Joan Goldstein for the work that she's doing as co-chair of the Interfaith Encounter Association. If you haven't seen the CNN piece on her group, go find it on YouTube. The conversations between Muslims and Jews that they're having are so important. They're also inspiring, and they also offer hope at a time when we really need it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Good evening, Deputy Mayor Catron.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Arts Council. As your former liaison, I was able to see firsthand the dedication and passion that everybody on the committee has, so it is certainly not surprising and, of course, very well deserved that others are recognizing your hard work as well. I want to extend and echo my sympathies again to the Ronaldo family as well as the Henneke family. What Fair Lawn does best is come together in times that are hard, and we did that, and I know that we will continue to do that for both of these Fair Lawn families. I want to thank really and sincerely the residents and voters of Fair Lawn for their overwhelming support in re-electing myself, Mayor Peluso, and Deputy Mayor Kraus. We saw a pretty substantial increase in voter turnout compared to when we were up 4 years ago, with an additional 1,300 people coming out to vote, which I think really is a testament to the growing engagement and participation in our community and in the democratic process, which is really a great thing to see. And I also want to echo and thank our municipal clerk, as well as the deputy clerk, and our diligent poll workers for really their tireless efforts in ensuring a very fair and very smooth election process. I also want to thank the Fairlawn All Moms and the Fairlawn Indian community for hosting 2 really wonderful Diwali events in our town. The Indian community in Fairlawn is just the inclusivity that they really demonstrate is such a wonderful example of the unity that defines our community. And they always put on these wonderful events and invite anybody and everybody who's interested in learning more about their culture, and that includes always the 5 of us. And it's an event that I really do look forward to each year. Not just because the food is delicious and because I get to dress up in a really fun outfit, but because it's just such a warm and welcoming environment. I want to also thank Fairlawn All Sports for orchestrating a highly successful soccer season, and a thank you to Councilman Reinitz back down there for his work with girls soccer. I had 2 children this year who participated in soccer, one who was on 2 teams and the other who didn't want to go to soccer at all last year and then decided she wanted to play again this year. And we said, "Are you sure?" And she really absolutely loved it. So really it was a wonderful program that was put together, and I really got to see some really valuable lessons that both of my kids learned by playing, and I know that extends to others. I was able to join the mayor in welcoming another new addition to our local business community, Kids Cuts and Play, which is a hair salon that caters to our younger residents. It's becoming really apparent that our town is becoming more of like a self-sufficient hub where you don't really need to leave Fairlawn to go shopping. So I think with all the gas money that I'm saving, I am entitled to buy myself an extra gift for this holiday season, is what I've decided. And speaking of the holiday season, I want to remind everybody of the importance of extending a helping hand to those in need. Our local food pantry plays a vital role in ensuring that every resident can enjoy the holidays, so I encourage everybody to consider making a donation. Even the smallest contribution can make a pretty significant impact. Information on how and where to donate is found on the borough's website, as well as the food pantry's social media pages. In light of the ongoing war in Israel and Gaza, I do find it necessary that I use my voice on this day as to remind everybody the importance of empathy and the rejection of hate in any form in these trying times. I know it's incredibly disheartening to witness the impact of these conflicts on innocent lives, and I want to emphasize that here in Fairlawn, we stand firmly against any manifestation of hatred. So if you or anybody that you know has experienced any form of hate, I implore you to report it to the police immediately. Our community cannot tolerate the propagation of animosity, and we have to take collective responsibility to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. I also urge, as I did at the last meeting, each and every one of you to check in on your Jewish and Muslim neighbors and friends and offer them support in any way that you can. Let's be proactive in our efforts to create an environment where everybody feels safe and valued. And an easy way to do this, I have found, is to be extra mindful of your social media usage. I'm going to ask everybody tonight that they talk to their friends and reiterate the importance of thinking before you share on social media and ensuring that we're all contributing to a responsible and informed discourse. Sharing misinformation may not seem dangerous in the moment, but the more we continue to demonize each other and the more we share inaccurate information, the closer the hate and the violence will get to our everyday lives. So I implore everybody to really think about what you are posting and ask yourself, where did this come from? Is it a reputable source? Is it real? Is it AI generated? Is what I'm about to share helpful, or is it going to cause more harm? Here in Fairlawn, regardless of our individual backgrounds, we have always shared in a common humanity that has compelled us to stand together and to work harder in times of crisis, so this time should be no different. And finally, tonight, we, as you have heard, as a governing body, bid farewell to our dedicated public servant, Borough Manager Jim Van Kroonigen. And in doing so, I am reminded of the richness that diverse perspectives bring to our community. Though our views may not have always aligned, I have always deeply respected and admired Jim's unwavering commitment to the betterment of Fairlawn. With over 30 years of dedicated service, he leaves behind a legacy of genuine care for our community, and I wish him nothing but success and happiness in his future endeavors, and I sincerely hope that he won't be a stranger to Fairlawn. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Good evening, Deputy Mayor Kraus.
Good evening, Mayor. I'm going to start out in offering my condolences to the Ronaldo family and to the Henneke family. You know, it's both very heartbreaking losses, and you know, I know that I speak for the rest of this council that if there's anything that we can do to help honor the memory of your loved ones, I know the council would be very much in support of that. And so, for now, though, I just want to let you know that my thoughts are with you. I do, too, need to congratulate the Arts Council as the current liaison and planning to be the future liaison for the next 4 years. I really enjoy working with you, and every event that you do, I'm very proud of. And, you know, so it's no surprise to me to see you get recognition on a broader level. The enthusiasm that you bring to everything you do, and just the work that you do and the way that it's brightened up our town. I mean, the way that you've worked, not just with the environmental committees that we have in town, but with the business communities, the way that you're getting art seen in spaces that it hadn't been there before, and really livening up aspects of Fairlawn are fantastic. I know there's a lot more planned. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but with the electricity boxes, and we'll see where those go. But you know, one thing that I love being you know, at the meetings, that there's always some new idea, something that I wouldn't have expected to hear, and someone comes up with a new idea. There's no shortage of great ideas in that committee, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of it, and you know, looking forward to what comes next from you. I will just kind of expand on a little bit of some of the comments that some of my colleagues made tonight. You know, I was at a conference the other week, and one of the speakers said something that I really liked, and said in less words things that I've tried to communicate multiple times, which, you know, she basically said, before you make a correction, make a connection. And I stopped and I thought about that, and I thought about, you know, how often we may be concerned about being right. Before we're concerned about making sure that what we have to say is being heard by our audience, whoever we need to speak to. And that is, it's so important. It's so important to build consensus, to build those bridges, and to understand that, you know, you're human. You may not be communicating things as effectively the first time around. Your person you're talking to is also human. They may not be hearing everything the first way around. And the only way to get around that is empathy. The only way to get around that is to be committed to seeing yourselves as part of something bigger. So I wanted to share that phrase because I really enjoyed it. It really lit a light bulb in my head. And it's important, and I think that's something that Fairlawn does well. I think Fairlawn really does well in building its community, and that goes a long way. And that's something that I hope to see us continue to do, especially since I was just reelected for another 4 years. So on that note, I am incredibly grateful. As Deputy Mayor Catrone was stating, we had a big increase in turnout, and because I love numbers, the first time I was running for election, there was a 29% turnout rate in Fair Lawn. Last I checked, it was 35%, which is for the type of election it was a very good turnout. Once again, about 5% above Bergen County's turnout rate in general. So, listen, however you voted, the fact that you came out and you participated in an election that a lot of people don't come out for is something that I'm incredibly proud of. And I hope that if you didn't vote for me, that the work that we do over the next 4 years will convince you otherwise. And if you did, I'm incredibly grateful. I care a lot about this community. I know the people up here with me care a lot about this community, and I'm incredibly honored to serve with all of you. So I'm looking forward to this next term. And thank you to our municipal clerk for all the work that you did to make sure this was a smooth election. There's a lot of new things. Even when I personally went to vote, there was a little bit of a iPad freezing issue, but it worked itself out, and overall it was a very smooth experience, and incredibly grateful to the poll workers for being there for us, because that's not always an easy job to have. And I will end to offering my congratulations to our outgoing borough manager. There's a very clear display of his enthusiasm, not just for Fair Lawn, but especially for our first responders, and an everlasting visual display of that is going to be on our back wall here in the council chambers. Jim did a lot of great things for Fair Lawn. He put a lot of work in for Fair Lawn, but his love for those first responders is something that we're going to see for many years to come as more names are added to that wall over there. And it was a pleasure working with Jim and hearing his perspective as someone who has spent his whole life in Fair Lawn, and hearing his perspective about things that happened years ago in Fair Lawn. It was very enlightening, and I wish you well in Arizona, and hopefully you will stop in and see us when you come to visit. That's all I have for tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I do apologize if I'm a little off tonight. I did come straight from the wake for Billy. This has been an extremely tough month for our community. 2 people we lost way too early in Billy and Dylan, and it's just been horrible, especially for a company 4, where 2 fathers had to bury their sons. And it's tough, but the one heartwarming thing I've been seeing throughout is how this community has gathered around them and shows support any way they can. And I can't thank you enough for all that. It's been very appreciative. I know speaking to the families, they've appreciated that, and just seeing it firsthand, it's truly amazing. I want to echo everyone's comments regarding the Arts Council. Thank you for all the work you've done. Just some huge upgrades within our community, and we really appreciate the commitment of all our volunteers. I want to thank everyone to put together a great Veterans Day ceremony. Just to honor our veterans. The borough has been recognized multiple times by the state for what we do, and I love how we don't rest on our laurels and we continue to do more. It's something that I'm extremely proud of, and the unveiling of the new portrait around the Avenue of Heroes is really remarkable, and if you haven't seen it yet, I definitely encourage you to do so. I want to echo Deputy Mayor Catrone's comments regarding the Diwali events. I think we did 3 of them this year. They continue to keep growing, just fun, active, and such an educational opportunity to learn about culture that I really didn't know much about before becoming mayor, so it's been really amazing to see. I want to thank Before School for the Thanksgiving donation that they do every year. It's great to see little preschoolers dressed up for Thanksgiving, and they donate baskets and baskets of food to our food pantry, and it's such a great annual event. I also want to welcome our new business, Kids Cuts and Play. over on Fairlawn Ave by River Road, right across from Fairlawn Diner. Really great setup. They have a lot of activities for the kids, so you keep them occupied while they're getting their hair cut. And it's just really amazing to welcome another small business. I want to thank our EDC and everyone involved for celebrating Shop Small Business this past Saturday. Thank you to Ryan, thank you to Pam Coles, who I saw out there. It's a little chilly, but warmed up a little bit. And everyone who came around, it was great to see all the residents, and Ada's came running through with some special desserts for all the volunteers, which of course were delicious, so thank them for that. And it's just also really great to see all the different businesses in Fairlawn supporting one another. So many times if I'm stopping for a slice of pizza or something else, the local business owners are there grabbing lunch or something. So having that support from the community and from the individual businesses is just something that's really amazing to see here in Fairlawn. I want to echo everyone's comments regarding the election. Thank you to all the poll workers. Thank you to our municipal clerk. Thank you to our assistant municipal clerk, Colleen, to the Mayor's Secretary, Mary Ann, who I know is there the whole night as well. We had a good turnout. It doesn't sound good, but for this kind of election, it's good. And the one thing I like to always say is we're making gains. And as Councilman Kraus mentioned, no matter who you vote for, it's really important to vote. Elected officials at the state and the federal level, they pay attention to that. And if they see a community is coming out to vote, they're going to pay attention to that. So no matter who you vote for, go out and vote. It makes a huge difference. And I want to thank everyone who put their name on the ballot. This being my 4th time doing so, I know it's never easy. It's challenging, and I want to thank, regardless of the results, anyone who put their name out there. And I want to thank our deputy mayors, Christina Catrone and Chris Kraus, for allowing me to be on the ticket with you two. It's always an honor campaigning and being involved. And I want to thank the Fairlawn residents for giving me this opportunity to serve for another 4 years. It really is an honor and a pleasure, and I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Lastly, I want to recognize our borough manager, Jim Van Groeningen, who's been with the borough for over 30 years, and the past 10 has been serving as the borough manager. When he first got appointed to this position, I'll never forget, joke around with him. His family just moved to Arizona. I said, Jim, you become the borough manager and everyone moves to Arizona. What's going on? Not really a good sign. But he's done absolutely amazing work. If you think about what's gone on over the past 10 years, it's been some really, really challenging times. And what really shines for me with Jim was when COVID hit. Having him and his emergency preparedness for that was so valuable to this community. And I don't think anyone's ever going to really see the amount of time he spent in Borough Hall, pretty much almost by himself. Myself, Jim, Wendy, and Michelle, I remember we isolated just the 4 of us, but we would come in, we would check on what was going on with the health department, we'd look at all the numbers, notifying the public. It was a tough time, and I really appreciate his work to help us get through that. And just in honor of him, I know he's not here. Unfortunately, he had something he had to take care of today, but I do want to read this certificate of congratulations for him. So this certificate of congratulations from the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Fairlawn presented to Jim Van Groeningen, given in honor of your retirement from the Borough of Fairlawn. With the well wishes of the Borough Council, your fellow borough employees, and the residents of Fairlawn. Your dedicated service to our community has been greatly appreciated. I do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 30th, 2023, Jim Van Groeningen Day within the Borough of Fairlawn, and do further extend sincere best wishes that your new life in Arizona will be blessed with good health and much happiness. Congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. Next up, we have our Main Street Minute with Ryan.
Okay, so November has been a pretty busy month. Before we get into that, I just wanted to take a moment to thank Mayor Peluso for attending Jake Loshevsky's Eagle Scouts ceremony this past weekend. He represents, I believe, number 136 of Troop 53's Eagle Scouts, which is a tremendous achievement to have as a town. So, first and foremost, I would like to thank everybody who came out to Small Business Saturday. We distributed our bags full of fun goodies and coupons in order to encourage local spending. Thank you, Pam, for volunteering at the event. Building off of my thanks to Pam, a delegation of trustees of Fairlawn Main Street Incorporated went down to Livingston to attend a special networking event held by the District Export Council. So the New Jersey District Export Council is one of 52 district export councils in the United States, where its members are appointed by the United States Secretary of Commerce with the goal of encouraging exporting. Now, that might sound very interesting, and it is, because exporting doesn't just mean manufactured goods. It could mean services. It could mean just about anything. And our goal as an organization is to expand our relationship with the New Jersey District Export Council in order to open up more opportunities for our business community, both small and large, in town. Building on that, we are currently working with the Workforce Development Board. A survey was developed that will assess the needs of businesses in Fairlawn within Bergen County in order to inform decisions on where to invest Department of Labor resources in Bergen County. And last but certainly not least, we've had quite a number of ribbon cuttings lately. Thank you, everybody who turned out to the ribbon cuttings on Broadway. So Deputy Mayor Catrone, Councilman Ronstrike. It was a really amazing event. It was full of dignitaries from all levels of government, from the federal government to the state. And it's really putting Fairlawn on the map, which reminds me. So Fairlawn has now become a film-ready certified community, which I want to take a moment to thank Jim. He played a critical role in this, as well as all of you did. This has really been a team effort. We went down to Trenton, or rather Keene University, I think, to learn about what it takes to become a film-ready community. We updated the ordinance. We worked with the Borough Council. We worked with the Borough Manager's Office, worked with the New Jersey Motion Picture and Television Commission, and we got it. We're one of the first towns in northern New Jersey to achieve this distinction, which is a highlight for Fairlawn, because now we stand at the forefront of encouraging this kind of investment for our borough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I forgot, there are two events coming up. So this Sunday is the Holiday Lights Parade. It is at what time? Thank you. Sunday at 6:30. Yes, starting at Paula Drive, coming down to Borough Hall. And Borough Hall is already starting to be decorated, but there'll be lots of stuff to do here, as well as a holiday boutique that's put on by the Arts Council, kind of, sort of. So that's Sunday, and also the Holiday Lights competition is back through Fairlawn for all ages. You have until December 13th to register your house, and this year there are themes: classic holiday, crazy inflatable, tunes and tech, and Griswold's delight. So you have to register. There's a link to register. You can find it on Fairlawn for All Ages Facebook page, and I think it's somewhere maybe on the borough's social media pages as well. If not, we'll get it on there. So make sure you register your house, and then everybody's going to need to go around, look at all the houses, vote, and the Holly Trolley will be back taking our older adults around to see the top 3 houses, or top 2 houses in each category, so that they can pick a winner. So 2 exciting holiday events coming up.
Great, thank you. Okay. Ordinance on second reading. Ordinance number 2680-2023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 232, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 2, Parking, more specifically Section 232-11, Parking prohibited during certain hours on certain streets of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Fairlawn 2000. May I have a motion to open the time for public comment on ordinance number 2680-2023 only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the time is now open for public comment on this ordinance only.
Good evening. On this ordinance, the vehicles and traffic and the parking, more specifically, where is parking prohibited and where can we find that? So if anyone is curious or has any parking issues, that they can find out where these parking areas are prohibited.
Yeah, Ms. Coles, this is part of a new ordinance 2680-2023, and this is specifically for Carroll Place from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And the ordinance is in the back and it'll be online as well.
Super. So it has, okay, so it's specifically for Carroll Place.
Correct.
Okay, super. Thank you so much.
So, yeah, and just for the public, so everyone knows, there was an issue over on Carroll Place with Uber Eats and DoorDash, so that's why we're having this.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Linda Presti. I was wondering where the progress about Heights Avenue is at this point.
Sure, no problem. I don't know, can we discuss this on this ordinance?
We have to go to the public comment, open public comment.
Yeah, I do have a response for you. We just have to wait to the open public comment. This is only could be comments for this
Oh,
ordinance.
I didn't know if,
It's okay.
if I was in, we were included
Yeah,
in
no,
this
it's,
one.
that's a good,
It's
it's give or
strictly
take. Yeah, just this one in
I
this
just
area.
didn't want to get passed by.
Don't
No
worry,
problem.
it's this one, 12. We will.
Seeing no one else, could I have a motion to close time for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing on ordinance number 2680-2023 is now closed. May I have a motion that ordinance number 2680-2023 be adopted on second and final reading and that be advertised according to law?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Reinitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Rottenstrike?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Catrone?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kraus?
Yes.
Mayor Peluso?
Yes. Public comments on consent agenda 22-2023 items only. Can I have a motion to open the time for public comment on consent agenda 22-23 only?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The time for public comment is now open on consent agenda 22-2023 items only.
Good evening. Pamela Coles, 13-34 George Street. First, I want to comment on the resolution, Resolution 394-2023. Resolution requesting the Director of Local Government Services to approve the installation of an item of revenue in the budget year 2023 in the sum of $23,575.83 from the National Opioid Settlement Fund. First of all, I saw this when I originally got it in the work that I do with opioids, and what I read was was $14,000, and so where has the additional money increased from? Because what I read, I didn't bring it with me. I should have brought it with me. All the towns in the state received X amount of dollars, depending on the impact of opioids. Toms River received a little bit more, and some of the counties down in South Jersey received more than some of the counties or cities up in North Jersey. And I'm so thrilled to see that this was an increase of what was originally stated when I received the information when I went to the opioid event. So I was just curious as to where the extra funds came from, because I am
Do you know what
thrilled.
document you saw the 14,000 on? What it was
I
from?
didn't bring it with me. I have it at home. Yeah, I can forward it to you.
Yeah, if you show us, because I'm not sure where it came from or where they got
Yes.
the number, so I don't.
Okay, and just to let you know that there will be in April, tell you what, April 19th down in Atlantic City for Partnership for a Drug-Free New Jersey, a whole symposium on opioids, and it's through Rutgers University. And I work with them for the last one at Rutgers University, so it's really remarkable. So that's all I have to say about that, and I will forward you that information.
Awesome, thank you, and thank you for all your work on this issue.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It's something that I've done. It's been a passion of mine for you know, someone had to draw the line somewhere. And that's my stand, that's my commitment. So somewhere, that's where I stand, that no one die of opioids or opioid addiction, leading to heroin, leading to fentanyl, and all that other drug addicted, drug addiction. And I don't mean to ramble on, but the services that we have are inadequate for what we need. And that's all I have to say about that for now, because I'm on this particular ordinance. Secondly, the resolution 397-2023, resolution authorizing the borough to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the new New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Clean Fleet Electric Vehicle Incentive Grant Programs fiscal year 2024 for the purchase of two public level 2 electric vehicle charging stations and make-ready costs. Awesome. However, who's going to manage this? Do we have any idea who's going to be, is the town going to manage it? How are we going to pay for it?
The grant or the vehicles?
No, not the vehicles. The management of the installation of the units, of the parking units, as well as when, the electric chargers are broken. So who's going to be the ultimate manager or management of the charging stations? Do we have any idea?
Do we have any ideas? Yeah.
Ultimately, that will be the borough, but we will have to hire a company for us to install them. But after that point, the borough will be responsible for the upkeep and repair.
The borough. So we will have to hire somebody too for that.
I don't think so. I mean, we had them when I was in Edison, and initially they require very little upkeep. Just making sure that the same car doesn't stay there, for
Yeah, I think we
hours.
had an ordinance for 12-hour segments, 12 hours. That was done a couple of years ago.
Correct.
So, okay. So I guess we'll find out in the future who will manage them.
It'll be probably Public Works in conjunction with the police department, but it won't require any additional personnel.
Okay, super. Thank you. And last one was the water pump, 396-2023, resolution authorizing the replacement of the pumps at Cadmus Place from Rapid Pump to Meter Service Company under the North Jersey Wastewater Cooperative. Is that in conjunction with everything that we're seeing regarding well, not only the upgrade, but also the replacement for the underground plume, or not plume, but the underground water down at what's that river? Not river. What's that brook that cuts through from the industrial center, industrial park over all? Is this in conjunction with all that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what part you're getting at, but generally we have a huge plan for the whole area. Are you looking for where the funds are coming from?
No, well, yeah, that, and along with, because I know that portion of it,
Yeah.
this was a little vague for me.
Yeah, this is just general maintenance to the pumps.
Oh,
at
this is
Cadmus.
just general
Yeah.
maintenance. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else on consent agenda items? Seeing no one, can I please have a motion to close time for public comment on consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The time for public comment on consent agenda 22-2023 is now closed. Resolutions by consent 22-2023. Municipal Clerk, please read the resolutions by consent.
Whereas the following resolutions, 387-2023 through 405-2023, having heretofore been placed on this consent agenda, require no discussion and same, having been previously reviewed by each council member, be and are hereby adopted, ratified, and confirmed in their entirety by the mayor and council of the Borough of Fairlawn.
Can I please have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Reinitz?
Yes.
Councilmember Rottenstrike?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Catrone?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Kraus?
Yes.
Mayor Paluso?
Yes. New business. Anyone have any new business? Number 12, public comments. Can I please have a motion to open the time for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The time is now open for public comments.
Yep.
Linda Presti, I live on 9 Heights Avenue, and I was just wondering where the progress has been, up to what point are you in progress in honoring the petition that we had asked for to be able to restrict parking from the problem that we have?
Yep, so we did have the discussion at the previous work session this month. And then one of the areas too we had our borough attorney to look at was the enforcement based on some recommendations that were made by the zoning board when that site was made for approval. So we're investigating whether or not there's violations that we can go after the actual property owner for. And then we do have it on the next work session agenda to discuss Heights Avenue once we got that information back.
But then, okay, how would you go after the people who know they're not supposed to park there and park there anyway? Well, who's going to be there to say, oh, this plate belongs to a person who works there, this plate belongs there? How would you know to be able to
I think we're talking
monitor?
about two different things. So the first one that you just said, that's our police officers who've been doing ticketing in that area, and we've had increased presence there since the residents on Heights Ave brought this to our attention. In regards to connecting the plates and to the businesses, a lot of times we ask and I've done it myself, ask the business itself, there's a car here, do you believe that's part of one of your employees? And yes, they own up to it.
So every time we see a car that we know belongs to someone there, we call and you immediately will call over? Or you have somebody assigned that will call over?
You can call my office, yeah. But the understanding is, and we had a similar situation over, don't want to say the wrong business, but the business over on Broadway where people were parking on the side streets. And we had a discussion with the owner, and based on the approvals they received for having that business, they had to have their employees park in that lot. So that's one of the things that we're reviewing right now and make sure that they have adequate parking for their employees. Because a lot of times what we'll see is there is adequate parking for the employees, but the employees will park what's the closest area to get to the front door. Unfortunately, we see this at some of our schools, and something we remind the principals about as well.
Actually, we're not close to the front door because they have to go through that street, where if they were in the lot, they're close to the front door. And we're seeing that now that it's winter, I don't know where some of them were parking. The road is just loaded with them parking. We see them coming out of their car and walking down there all the time. And as the weather gets even worse, and I don't know. I just was...
So just to add on to that, there were two things in particular also that we talked about at the meeting. The first is that the petition that came back was almost 50-50 in terms of people who wanted the parking restrictions. It was only technically 60-40 because it was 6 houses, 6 yeses to 4 noes. So before we move forward with implementing it, we decided to take 1 more month and use that time, as the mayor said, to look at the original application that they put forward, because in that application, they did testify to and state that this came up as an issue, parking on the streets, and the owner of the business said, this is what we're trying to look into. If the owner of the business said on record that that wasn't going to happen and that there was going to be ways to mitigate it, and it's not, and they're not honoring that, then not only can we continue to ticket cars that are there that shouldn't be there, but we can also talk to the business owners and perhaps put punishments on them, fines, that when a business is fined because of something their employees are doing, we often see the employees stop doing it. So we want to see if there's a way that we can rectify the issue first without the parking restriction, since it was not a resounding, everybody on the street wants the restriction.
Well,
That's
I
the
know-
issue.
Okay. Is there any way I could see how everyone voted? Because I know my neighbors who told me and said, look, here it is, my email, and I know of 7 who said yes.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
never mind some I haven't even asked.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who circulated the petition?
Well, there's two. She does one, and then the police do one.
Oh,
and
okay.
then to
So
reaffirm
I'm
it.
not sure.
But I think that's the difference. Is she allowed to see how people voted?
I'm sorry?
Is she allowed to see how residents voted on a petition?
Well, it's up to the resident, right? I mean, if they're signing the public petition, they're going to know that that's going to be disclosed, so.
Yeah. I think that's the big difference we saw. I mean, as you saw, we went with Carroll Place pretty quickly because Carroll Place was overwhelmingly, everyone wanted it. And this was also the second time we did it, because the first time there was a petition done on Heights Ave, the results were not to do it. So we
Okay,
actually
that was
shortened.
I'm sorry, the entire street.
Right.
Right,
And
so we
most of the
shortened-
people on the other end said, we don't care, it doesn't, because I went and had people
They-
sign, it doesn't involve me. I said, well, please, we're part of the community, help
Right, but,
us.
so what we did was we shortened it, expecting to see overwhelming numbers like we did on Carroll, but as Deputy Mayor Catrone said, we didn't. It was 6 to 4. So we're looking at different ramification. If that doesn't work, then yes, we will go forward with it. But we're looking at another option, and it's already on the agenda for the December work session to discuss.
Okay, because when that letter came out, my neighbor, on my number 9, the neighbor who's next to me, who's number 5, they never got a letter. And I said, here, vote. And the man downstairs says, he never got one. Here, vote. Then the people next to me, 13, I asked Tina. She said, I never got one. So I said, here, vote, because we're in that section. And I know Bettina did it. I know that, okay, I can go right on down the street. I know
Yeah.
6 said yes. And they actually showed me their email that they voted yes.
Well, what we were received from the Traffic Safety Department had 6-4, and the other thing, I got an email this week from someone who signed yes and said, but how do I get I'm a resident so I can still park sticker? And I said, that doesn't exist. If it's no parking, it's no parking for everyone, including the residents. So there are some yes votes too, who I think believe they should still park on the street. So that also gives us a lot of reserves.
Well, I know who that is because they can only fit one car in their lot because the lady who owns number 13, she put a fence up. So they can't go all the way in because if that, they can't open their doors. So they can only get one car and then the rest are on the street
Right. So there's.
because of the problem.
But then that person
But
wouldn't
that's
be
an
able to
issue.
do that anymore.
Right,
Yeah.
well, that's it. And I had spoken to you a couple of months ago about resident parking, and you said some towns are allowing it, although New Jersey never did. And I asked you if you would look into it, whether or not we could have that in our town.
Yeah, and I reached out to the state because, as I mentioned, like Hoboken has a permit parking, or you can only park if you have a certain area, and their case to me was that there has to be certain hardships that are presented. So Hoboken, because of the amount of visitors, they qualify for that. He said, looking into it, Heights Ave would not qualify based on you're a suburban town, you're not an urban community.
Okay.
So there are, I wish it was more of a cut and paste thing, but it is a challenging situation we're dealing with here, because you have a number of people who feel differently about this, and it's not one easy decision. So that's why we're looking at all options to find the best remedy for everyone.
Okay, because like I said, I've seen what number 6 voted, I saw what number 8 voted, number 14, and the one guy said his son voted, I forget their number. And then I saw what number 5 did, number 9 did, number 13 did, That's
I
more
mean, if
than
they
that.
can all come to the work session, if you wanted 7 people, 8 people, however many people, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you have 10
we're
people-
talking about it again at the next meeting, which is not that far from now.
Which I keep asking them to come. Some of them, I was out of the country for 5 years, okay? From January 2015 to 2020. And so a lot of this occurred when I wasn't around. And then I had a job that took me many hours. And so now I have a job that gives me time to work on this. It's a problem. Like I said, it's a problem, especially for those of us who were right there because of also, which I want to
But do you
present.
see the challenge for us?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Because I don't disagree with you that there is a problem, but the issue is the remedy because the numbers we're seeing are very different. But that's something we're continuing to explore. And like we said, it'll be on the next work session, and we definitely encourage more residents to come. And I will see what we can do to look at who did vote what way, so that's something we can explore as well. Because if you're saying 8 and we have on paper 6, then there's some concerns.
Okay, I have another question. This would be like new business type. Not
Oh,
really-
yeah, anything's
say
for
it, yeah.
public
Not
comments,
really
yeah.
new, but that right-hand turn that they are making as they come out of that driveway. Okay, first of all, I have never seen where it says no right-hand turn where it's straight. How is that ever allowed to be contoured where it's straight, which tells the people you can make a left or right? How is that ever allowed?
I'm not, are you talking about the parking lot leaving the
Leaving
facility?
the facility, that extra one that they have that comes onto Heights Avenue.
And that's one of the things that I think we discussed at the work session was these approvals by the board, are they being followed? And so looking at that to make sure that, because that was one of the concerns, was whether or not that was allowable. So that's one of the things that we had the borough attorney reviewing.
Okay, because on September the 30th, as I tried to get into my driveway, almost got hit again. Almost got hit. I don't want to be one of your statistics up here that I got injured or hurt, or any of my friends, because they've had some, but they're not coming. A lot of them have just given up. I can't give up when it comes to the safety for myself or my friends.
No.
And then this past Saturday, I had a friend who dropped off some chairs, and as he's leaving, I run in the street, and I'm a cop, because I don't want anyone to be hurt. Anyone who comes into my house, I run in. They say, you don't have to. I said, yes, I have to, because I don't want you to get hit. So as I was getting ready to go, I saw this woman come out. She used it as a yield sign. She looked to the left and zoomed down. I am so glad that I caught her, or she could have hit me as I was following out. It's just, it's a suggestion. They don't even stop at the stop sign. They just keep running right out of the street there. And I just don't understand it. If they're not abiding, how is this allowed to be continued to be open? Where it could be, it's dangerous for those of us who are right there.
No, I agree 100%. And look, I was just at a conference with mayors, and this is something, unfortunately, that we're dealing with post-COVID. Like you said, people don't stop at stop signs. They don't
Right.
yield at yield signs. They just drive through. The other morning, I was driving through Wyckoff. Stop signs were green lights to them, basically. It was
Oh, yeah.
insane. And luckily, I'm on a committee with the mayor, and actually brought his attention. He goes, yes, it's happening everywhere here. It's happening here. I don't know what happened after COVID, but everyone looks at traffic signals and stuff like they're nothing. And it's a major concern of ours, and I know our police have really stepped up enforcement on it, but people just drive through, and it's something that we're really trying to reckon with. And I know not just here in Fair Lawn, but pretty much everywhere.
And I've seen it in the different towns that I've been in.
Yeah,
I do a lot
it's
of
nuts. You
volunteer
can't-
work, and it's like, wait a minute, this says stop. Someone actually went around me and just zoomed out with his motorcycle, but there was a police officer behind us and chased him. I was so happy. I don't know if he caught him. I was in Hawthorne. But it's a problem because it's not being, it continues to be a suggestion, and I've seen it in other towns and other places where I go, but it's a danger to us leaving. And in a way, it's even a little harder for me because I know that you had to examine all the waters for whatever the state said you had to, and you started on Heights. Part of my apron is still with the cone, and it's not filled in. I went to your DPW, two beautiful ladies. They were so kind. They said, you know, Linda, we are trying to get a contractor to fill it in. Originally, they put macadam, and then, or whatever they call it today, blacktop. And then when I came home, a couple days later, it was ripped out, okay? Then they put concrete, and I said, oh, good, they're finished. And the next day, someone had ripped it out by the time I got home. So that cone, part of my driveway, even when I'm swinging, I don't want to go into it. Although I have two-car thing, but it's still, when I'm making that turn, hoping not to get hit by them, with that car in front of me, it's such a danger every time I go in and out of my driveway, and I back in because I don't have somebody who could play traffic cop if I'm backing out. And I've noticed some, number 6, Bettina's always backing in also now because she said she can't have her kids jump out and be traffic cop because she's right next to that. So it's a problem that is very dangerous to our area, them using that.
I know, that's why we really expected different results when we went door to door
What do you mean went door to door? I'm sorry.
with the change and with the parking restrictions.
When you personally went, you mean?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. When issues like these come to our attention, we speak to the residents directly. We go to these areas, like Carroll Place, when they told us, it's not like one person tells us we don't pay attention. Look, I used to live on Heights Ave. I like visiting Heights Ave. We
I know
talk
you
to the
told me that.
residents. That's kind of what we do. We're a very active council, where if we hear of an issue, we go and we see it and we talk to the people involved in it.
No one has come to my home.
'Cause
It could be when you
speak
went
to-
around, I
we-
wasn't
I think
home.
we speak weekly almost at this point. So.
Okay. But I still don't understand how, when it's a danger
minutes.
and it's been brought to your attention, they're still allowed to use that exit.
Well, because we're going through a process.
Okay.
I wish I could, look, we had an issue with the intersection over on Saddle River Road, on Fairlawn Ave and Saddle River Road. I hate to say this, it took 8 years. We wanted to get it done in 2 months. It's unfortunately a slower process. Maple and River Road took 23 years. This isn't going to take as long, but we have to do a process first.
Yeah, I would just suggest coming to the meeting next week, because that's when we're actually going to be discussing this matter. And this way, we could maybe come up with a
I thought
resolution.
I'm only allowed at this meeting.
No, work session's
Work
open to the
session.
public. And that's really the best for you to be at, because that's where we really kind of hammer these things out.
Okay, because I'm new to this.
Oh, no problem.
no problem.
Well, we're glad to have you joining us.
And when is that going
The
to-
next work session is...
December 5th, be
December
next
5th.
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yep, right across the hallway in 201.
And what time does that start?
7:30.
Same thing.
Excuse me?
Time.
7:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pamela Coles, 13-34 George Street, promise to be sure. I just want to congratulate you for the election and all the work that's been done in this council, and just a remarkable job.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Seeing no one else, can I please motion to close time for public comment?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time is now closed for public comment. Adjournment, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.